You're welcome. It's time for What's Up and About, lady and gentlemen. You guys are welcome.
Yeah.
Mike, we had this conversation before.
Okay.
I'll intimate you guys with it.
Yeah.
What is your position on traditional attires in corporate places, say workplaces? I mean, maybe not TV because we're allowed.
What is
Yeah.
the traditional attire, first of all?
Let's talk about agbadas, senator suits. Even senator suits are a bit,
Yeah.
But you know that what you're wearing is someone else's tradition.
That's where I'm going.
Yeah, what we're wearing right now is someone else's.
That's where I'm going. Yours a bit casual, but
Yeah.
It's the tradition.
we're all
Someone's
casual.
tradition.
Yeah.
Someone's tradition.
Reason why I'm bringing this up is because you guys have heard that the Kenyan parliament actually have put a ban on what they call the kaunda suits, which are kind of like similar to what we call here the senator suits in our own Senate.
Yeah.
Now, they gave reasons. I listened to the entire session with the parliament member telling about the history of their parliament and how they're trying to preserve the dignity and honor of the space.
Okay.
He talked about in the past, especially since 1914, since 2014,
Yeah.
where there were decrees or there were policies that were put in place regarding dressing. And they made it known that kaunda suits are not allowed because they become variants. They people start to, what's the word now, become lax about their dressing when
Okay.
you
Okay.
employ these kinds of dressings.
Wow.
They have a stipulation which maintains that you must be in a shirt and a tie. Your shirt
Wow.
must be collared. You must have a suit on, and you must wear socks. So,
Wow.
if you look at it,
Okay.
traditional wear, we don't wear socks. We don't have no provisions for ties and all of that.
So this is the traditional wear of another country.
Yes.
That if you don't wear socks, your feet will freeze.
True.
We live in Africa where socks are only just to preserve your shoes from maybe having a particular odor. You know, not because of the cold. But traditionally, if you don't wear socks in the abroad, you go freeze.
Even traditionally, we wear sandals.
Exactly. The necktie originally was a thick fabric for making sure that your neck doesn't get cold.
Even when they went as far
Yeah,
as exaggerating everything with Black Panther, they still kept the sandals.
exactly. Yeah, keep the sandals because it's part of. And then there are some countries that are well known for making sure that their culture is put out there, no matter what.
The Asian culture, for
The
instance.
Asians.
And I love the way that they dress and the way that they have
Yes.
employed it in every aspect of
in
their
India.
lives.
I want to give.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Well, you can't go to the
saris.
Indian parliament looking.
No,
I'm
but
not
they,
sure about that.
No,
I
but they
haven't
have, they
researched that.
have their
traditional
proper
wear.
fabrics.
I want to use this opportunity
The
to.
Arabs. Oh my gosh.
This is just based on this particular instance. Please don't take me out of context or cut me somewhere. I want to give a big shout out to our former president, President Muhammadu Buhari. Why so? When you go to a meeting of the AU,
Yeah.
or you go to a meeting of G78
Yeah,
or G100,
Yeah, G20.
and you see all African leaders on suits, you will see President Muhammadu Buhari on
agbada.
his senator attire,
Yeah.
as it were.
Yeah.
Black all through with black cap, and he just keeps that hand. And I'm like, yes. Because if Arabs were called to a meeting with whatever culture and all
They
that,
will
they
wear
will
them.
represent who they are.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so anytime I remember the last picture I ever saw of him on that kind of something, he was the only person not wearing a suit in his traditional attire.
Let me bring it back down to Nigeria. In our Senate, mostly, if not 100%, what they wear is what we've termed the senator suit.
Yeah.
And there's a certain formality that goes with it. It looks very, very formal, especially if it's well cut and not overly exaggerated with, the laborious bogosness that some people like to sew them in.
Yeah.
And I love it. In fact, I remember many years from before I started TV, that was all I ever had in my wardrobe. And people would wonder, do you ever dress in the English attire? And I'm like, I like this. It's very cut, nicely fit.
And it's comfortable.
And it's regal.
Yeah.
And wherever you go, people are like, wait on, sir.
Yeah.
If you went to somewhere, Mike, if you drove in, they'll tell you park outside. If I drove in, they'll say, okay.
Oh, wow.
And I liked
Yeah.
it.
It's a fact.
It is what it is. I'll always say that, look, you don't judge people by their appearances, but you will be judged by your appearance.
Yeah,
And
sure.
that appearance, I dare say, gives that air of, okay, like you said, it's
Respect,
regal,
yeah.
it's respect. And this is a call out for myself included, for all of us included, because we're talking about this and look at what we're wearing.
Yeah,
That's why we get to the point that a parliament would officially sit down and go think, what the
With a tie.
get?
Okay.
Even as
But
Africans,
look, wait, hang on a
even
second.
as
So, but
Africans,
there are some.
even as Africans,
But
where
we
did
can't-
the concept of belts come in?
Okay.
Oh?
Where did the
Belt
concept
is
of
absolutely
come in?
necessary.
Because
Yeah.
we would fit our materials to our, when I would put a strip of rope inside, we fit our materials to our
size.
to our size.
Yeah.
And that's why of most of my pants, you see buckles and all, they're well fitted. You understand? And
Just want to rid yourself of extra regalia.
Like you clearly mentioned when you spoke about the socks.
Yeah.
As Africans, weather is humid, the turtleneck. You see somebody wearing hot
Turtleneck in 90 degree weather.
What's this one now?
What's
The
head warmer.
Head warmers.
Wool, pure wool.
Well, I wear that every morning, actually. It preserves the hair.
For the cold.
For cold or
Yeah,
for
but
hair.
once it's past 6 a.m., I take it out.
Exactly, there's a reason why you're doing it, but when it has become a fashion statement,
Yeah.
I feel like we all should look back at ourselves.
But there are different industries
Africans.
that require this, have always required this. For instance, in the court system.
Exactly, I
Right?
was going to go there. If you guys remember lawyer Malcolm Omirowo, I think that's his name. Last year, not long ago, last year, he attended court in his traditional herbalist regalia, saying that if the Nigerian system permits people to dress in religious attires to formal places like schools and hijabs was the reference that was used then he can also appear in his traditional regalia. I don't know about that extreme take on.
I don't even really
that-
think
that
it's
extreme?
extreme. It's not really.
not-
You don't believe that it was extreme?
He was trying to make a
No,
point.
trying to make a
we are
point
in
by
a
exaggerating
secular
it.
State.
Yeah.
What does a secular state mean? A state that is devoid of religion when it comes to making such
Thank you.
decisions.
Now, Mike, that's where I'm going with the Kenyan system. Now, that's what they're also trying to apply and also trying to preserve the, let's say, look and feel of the house. If you look at their parliament, it's a very traditional one. It's much like the British system. You know, you've got the speakers all in a frock. They're actually wearing those every one of them. If you're going to climb the podium, you have to wear that. Now, to wear that and then look onto your members and then see them in very diverse, I think they're trying to preserve a certain sense of uniformity.
Uniformity.
Okay,
And if you give if you give an
then-
inch, people take a foot or a mile.
mile.
So it's like, you know what? Let's just preserve this by going back to what the stipulations are. No counter suits. You must appear in whatever the policies
So
have stated.
I actually don't mind in terms of decency.
Oh, did I
So
forget?
in terms of decency and exposure of skin, or maintaining decorum in a particular
It
place.
wasn't restricted to just the male members. They also had very strict rules for the female members as well regarding religious attires inside of the parliament and length of skirts.
Of course.
And sleeveless dresses, which caused a stare when it was read
Yeah.
because they were like, Well, maybe they might have been having plenty of that because you know you ladies, you like to put it above the knee. I don't know why.
well, it depends on what some ladies are more comfortable with. You know, what they see as more flattering. But if it's for indecent exposure, I completely understand. There was a time even in the universities, in fact, there's still some private universities now that have strict rules on what, they're trying to preserve the culture of the space.
I would say the Nigerian Senate is a good example when it comes to this. Maybe you should take off the outer suit, the agbada itself, and look a little bit more with the senator and all of us so that they know they're coming to work rather than they're going to Anonwambe. Because I feel like if you're going to Anonwambe and work, there should be some sort of distinction between both clothes. But Nigerian Senate on this one.
Very true.
Yeah.
Why don't you guys tell us what you think? Personally, I'm all for the traditional system of dressing, even in corporate spaces. What do you think? Use the hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC. Let us know. We might continue this after. We'll be right back.